Broadcasting to Stoke-on-Trent and the world. This is Six Towns Radio.
Right, it's Six Towns Radio, and we're going over to the telephones to bring you a guest today. Shed 7, I've got the Great Sets Tour at Christmas, and I've got lead singer Rick Witter on the line. Hello, Rick.
Hello, Terry. How are you, mate? You all right?
Brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Looking forward to this tour. We met up in Manchester, it was, about 2 years ago when you did the Maximum High tour.
We did. We were stood in catering, weren't we?
That was it, yeah. What a great night that was.
It was a brilliant night, that one, yeah. I'm hoping that it will be recreated this year. I can't see why it won't be.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, obviously, it's the same old thing, really, I suppose. It's been 2 years again. The Shed's getting itchy feet. We want to go out and play all of our songs for the people who quite clearly love it and want to come again. So you can't go wrong with that, can you?
You do these tours at Christmas. Is there a reason why you have to do them at Christmas time?
Well, no, we don't have to do them at Christmas. It's just always something... We've always just loved playing at that time of year for some reason. You know, it's you know, the nights have drawn in, people are getting excited because the Christmas holidays are coming, people are winding down from work. You know, it's a bit crazy, really, because I end up doing interviews in June in preparation for a Christmas tour, and the people who are interviewing me are saying, oh, yeah, my mates have bought 6 tickets already. So, you know, they're treating it as a Christmas night out, you know, early on in the year. It's crazy, really.
It's a great present, and most of the gigs are sold out now, aren't they?
Well, about 6 or 7 of the 13 have gone, and the rest are very, very close. There's just a few in Liverpool and Sheffield that could do with a few more people coming too, but I'm sure that will happen. It's a good 7 weeks away. So, yeah, I mean, that helps to look forward to something when you know that there's people who've already bought the tickets and they're looking forward to it. You know, it makes it a lot easier for us in that respect.
Going out in the 90s, Shed 7 were one of my favourite bands, and a lot of other people's favourite bands. And when you first got back together, did you think, what if people don't want to buy these tickets? Was that a bit of a concern? Well,
we had no idea, to be honest with you. That was the good thing about it. We had absolutely no idea. We'd been away from it for about 5 years. I think it was actually Alan, our drummer, who, I think it was probably about January 2007, just, you know, we just got together for a drink, and he just said, what do you think about just going out for a week and just doing some gigs? Just because that's all we ever loved doing within the band was playing live. It's what we do, you know. So we were all kind of thinking, oh, yeah, I suppose we could try doing that. But it was solely for our own benefit, really. It was just solely so we could go and play some music.
Yeah.
And we had no idea about how it'd go down, who'd be interested, because we'd been away from it for a while. And then, you know, when we announced it, what was originally supposed to be maybe 5 gigs spread out over a week ended up being a full month away with added venues and upgraded venues because they were too small. And we were like, what's going on here? But, you know, in the nicest possible way. I mean, obviously, everything that we did in the 90s, we loved doing it, and we were kind of convinced that we were good enough to be able to be doing that. But obviously, having a bit of time away from it, it was like, well, are people going to be interested? And then it was such a nice thing to suddenly be presented with the facts, you know. And I suppose at the end of the day, what it meant was that what we did do in the 90s actually meant something to people. You know, it wasn't a flash in the pan thing or a throwaway thing. It was actually, yeah, people actually took these songs to their hearts, which was only about then that we actually discovered that, which must have been a good 10 years after the main event, you know.
Your support on the tour is Mark Morris of the Blue Tones fame. He's a bit of a character, a bit of a laugh as well, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's kind of half the reason why we've invited Mark to come with us. I mean, the last few times that we have toured, we've ended up having Chris Helm, who's in the Seahorses, come in and doing a little bit of a slot. And what we found is, if somebody just comes on first with an acoustic guitar on, you know, if they've got a few new songs to promote, then all's well and good. But then, you know, if they've got the odd classic 90s hit to just fall upon, all that's going to do is build up our audience for us, you know. So it works both ways, really. So Mark will be coming and he'll be playing a few new songs that he's obviously written because he's a solo artist now. But at the same time, he'll definitely be playing a few Blue Tones songs. Yeah. So it will just create a brilliant atmosphere before we come out.
With Chris Helm, you know, knowing some of the Seahorses songs, again, people were singing along, and as soon as you hit the stage, people are already prepped, aren't they?
Well, that's it. And I do enjoy coming out and watching the support at some gigs, and physically stood there watching Chris, and the same thing will be the case with Mark. I enjoy watching them playing, but I also enjoy watching the crowd and seeing their anticipation. And as I say with Chris, when he's singing "Love Is the Law," and everybody's got their hands in the air singing every word of it, you just know that it's going to be a good gig for us. We're very selfish.
The 90s was such a great time there. They really were. That was when I used to go to a lot of the big indie clubs, and there's so many powerful songs out there, and it's great that people can get that by you getting back together, to be honest.
Well, listen, I think, we've been doing this for quite a long time now, just doing the odd reform tour, but, there's so much room over the next few years to be involved again because of the fact that next year, for example, alone, it's the 20th year of a lot of debut albums, and I think definitely Maybe came out 20 years ago next year, as did our debut album, Change Giver, that came out 20 years ago next year, and I think Part Life was around about that time. So there is going to be, I think there's going to be a bit of a Britpoppy kind of buzz going around anyway, so you might find that even going to your local nightclubs, they're playing a lot more of that kind of music, and you might find a lot more bands writing songs in that ilk again. And you'll probably find us going out and milking it for all it's worth.
I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. I don't think it's ever gone away. So how have the rehearsals gone for the Greatest Hits tour?
Well, if you'd asked me that a couple of weeks ago, I'd say I'm slightly concerned because we hadn't actually got together. But since then, we've been together several times, and initial rehearsals are going brilliant. It's not often that when in the downtime we don't really see that much of each other because we're all busy doing other things. So it's like, I guess it is like riding a bike in the respect that you stop doing it for a while and you're worried about whether or not you'll still be able to do it. But there's no better feeling really than getting together and agreeing on things and getting a set sorted, which we're kind of in the process of doing now. There's a lot of obviously there's nothing new as yet, but I'm not ruling that out in future. But obviously we want to play a few songs that we might not have played for 10, 15 years. So we've got some good ideas, as well as obviously having all the main hits in the set. So, yeah, it's looking really positive. There's 7 weeks to get match fit. But a few surprises out there for the people who bought tickets.
Is there any songs that you totally forgot the words to because it's been that long?
There might be the odd occasion where I scratch my head a little bit and maybe have to just put the song on just so that I can scribble down certain lines just because, a lot of them are really old now. I'm not getting any younger either. So, but usually once or twice around singing it live with the band, it's there. It just comes back to you. It's like a natural thing, really.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I treat the songs a little bit like my children, really. So, I have to tell them off all the time.
Your Disco Down show has been going down a storm since last time we spoke. It was in its infancy. You've done little bits and pieces, but now, in the last 12 months, it's been on every Sunday, and you've had some great guests, haven't you?
I have, yeah, and the funny thing with that is I'm doing it all off my own back. There's nobody kind of there producing it or directing it. It's just me turning up at this radio station, and literally, because on a Sunday there's not that much activity at the place, so I have to kind of let myself in, turn myself onto live air, and I just do it all myself. Everything about that show is just totally done myself. So, I find Twitter a very positive tool for that reason. It's a very good promotional tool, but it's also a good way for me to kind of get in touch with Alex Kapranos, for example, out of Franz Ferdinand, who I might have never met, but because he would know who I was, it's a very easy way of getting an in and saying, look, do you fancy 10 minutes on the phone, mate?
This is exactly how I get my guests. This is exactly how I get them.
It makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think maybe because of the fact I was in a band, a lot of these people in bands now understand what it's like, so that they're more likely to say yes than no. I haven't really had anyone saying no yet, anyway. so yeah, I'm building up quite a good CV of guests, but I'm just loving doing the radio. I'm loving being involved still in a music kind of sense of things, and I love the biggest buzz for me is I love kind of just putting what I want on. It's just what I would love to hear at home. It's like being at home pretending to do a radio show when in fact I'm actually doing a bloody radio show.
Quite indulgent, but it works. Because it's on at that time when a lot of people are having a bath. Have you ever thought of doing like an Alan Partridge deep bath section?
Well, I have thought of a lot of Alan Partridge stuff. In fact, most weeks when I've said something, I'll put a record on afterwards, and then out loud I'll go, that was just so Alan Partridge. But I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's just a little plug then. That's for people who might not know I do that. I've got a radio show 7 till 9 on Minster FM, and you can listen to it online, so you can listen to it all over the country.
Rick, it's been absolutely fantastic talking to you today, mate, and good luck with it all.
Good man, Terry. Nice one, and I'll see you in Manchester probably, will I?
You will do, yeah, mate, definitely.
Good man. All right, thanks very much for that. Cheers, Terry. Cheers, mate.
Bye, Rick.
Bye.